Today we are going to speak about the Young's double slit experiment. In Young's double slit experiment, we will be using a monochromatic light source. Let this be our monochromatic light source. Let me write it as S, monochromatic light source, and it is kept in front of a single slit. This is our single slit, and let me draw a dotted line from this single slit like this, and I'll explain it later. Now we are drawing a double slit in front of that single slit, and this is our double slit. Let's mark slit 1, slit 2, then we are placing a screen over here. Let me explain. This is our monochromatic source. This is our single slit, double slit, and finally screen. The distance between double slit and screen, it is capital D. Distance between double slit and screen is capital D. Let me draw a dotted line from that slit 2 to a point over here, and a dotted line over here also. Let's mark this point as O, this point as A, this point as B. This distance, it is the distance between two slits. It is taken as small d. Small d is the slit distance, or the slit distance between the two slits. Capital D is the distance between the slit and screen. Then assume that we are having a random point over here. Let's call this point as P, and light from slit 1 will reach the point P like this, and the light from slit 2 also will reach the point like this. And let me mark the distance from the point P to the center of the screen, or to point O. It is X. Okay. Then is the S1P distance and S2P distance same? No, it's not same. Therefore, the two light rays will reach this point at a different time, and as a result there is a path difference. And what is the path difference? It will be greater distance minus smaller distance. That is, let me write path differences S1P minus S2P. Is it clear? S1P minus S2P. In order to find out path difference, what I am doing is, I am initially finding S1P square minus S2P square. Let me find out S1P square minus S2P square. In order to find out S1P square, you just concentrate on the triangle S1PA. S1PA. S1P square is hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. That is, S1P square is this distance square, that is capital D square, plus this distance square. This distance is not X, or it's not D also. It is X plus this distance, that is X plus D by 2. Therefore, AP is X plus D by 2. Therefore, X plus D by 2 the whole square. S1P square is like this. Minus, next is S2P square. In order to find out S2P square, S2P square is this distance square plus this distance square. That means D square, if there is a minus sign, I am putting a bracket also, D square plus this distance whole square. That is, this distance is X and this distance is D minus 2, or D by 2. Therefore, this distance is X minus D by 2. x minus d by 2 the whole square. It's like this. And from our derivation we could cancel out this d square. Then x plus d by 2 the whole square, the answer is x square plus 2x d by 2 plus d square by 4 minus, if I am expanding this, it will be x square minus 2x d by 2 plus d square by 4. And we could clearly see, we could cancel out this x square, this d square by 4, and this 2 and 2 will go, this 2 and 2 will go, minus of minus xd plus xd plus xd, that is equal to 2xd. What is s1p square minus s2p square? Can I write it as s1p plus s2p into s1p minus s2p? It is like a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Okay. Then let me write s1p minus s2p is equal to 2xd divided by s1p plus s2p. Can I write like this? Who is this s1p minus s2p? It is path difference. Therefore, let me write path difference is equal to 2xd divided by s1p plus s2p. Okay, then we are going for an approximation. In the actual case, this capital D will be very large, and the small d actually it will be very small. Therefore, what I could write is, in the actual case, capital D is much greater than small d. If capital D is much greater than small d, we could go for an approximation, that is S1p plus S2p is approximately, S1p plus S2p both will be approximately equal to d plus d, not in this diagram, in this case, and this is the actual case, it will be approximately 2d. This is the reason for this. Then we could write this path difference as path difference is equal to 2xd divided by 2d, 2 capital D. We could cancel out this. Then I will write path difference is equal to xd by d. This is one expression that we will be using in double slit experiment. Path difference is equal to xd by d. X is the distance from the central band to that random point. Small d is the double slit distance, distance between the two slits. Capital D is the distance between slit and screen. Okay, then we'll use this expression for path difference in our constructive interference condition. And in constructive interference, we have learned that the path difference of constructive interference is n lambda, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Therefore, let's use it in this case, that is, if path difference is equal to 0, let's have a situation where path difference is 0. If path difference is 0, it should be a constructive interference. If I am substituting that path difference is 0 in this general expression, we could write path difference is xd by d. Equating, we will get 0 is equal to xd by d, and in which small d and capital D will never become 0. Therefore, x should be 0. That means x is equal to 0, the point will be at O. That means x is equal to 0 means path difference is equal to 0. That means it is constructive interference. We will get a bright band. Therefore, I will write CB equal to BB. What does this mean? CB is central band. Central band is a bright band. Okay. Then I will write another heading for first bright band. What is this? For first bright band. Then who is this? This is the central band. After central band, we'll write the first bright band. For first bright band, the path difference should be, let me write with the black pen, path difference should be lambda, substituting n is equal to 1. Then what we could write is, we could write by combining xd by d is equal to lambda, we could write xd by d is equal to lambda. Then I'll make a slight modification to this x. This is x1. What is x1? x1 is the distance from central band to first bright band. The distance from central band to first bright band. Then what's the expression for x1 from this case? x1 is equal to lambda capital D by small d. Let's use this. Then let me write another case, that is for second bright band. What is this? For second bright band. For second bright band, what is the case of path difference? The path difference should be, after lambda, it should be 2 lambda. Then we could write x2d by d is equal to 2 lambda. Why did I write x2? Initially we got, or we gave x1 for the x2. Who's x2? x2 is the distance from central band to the second dark band. Then we'll get x2 is equal to 2 lambda capital D by small d. We are obtaining an equation like this. Then let's generalize. If this is the situation, means for nth dark band, what should be the expression for nth dark band? For nth dark band, if it is x1 is equal to lambda d by d, x2 is equal to 2 lambda d by d, x3 will be 3 lambda d by d. Likewise, xn is equal to n lambda d by d. This is a very important equation. We could use this equation to find out distance from central band to any dark band. This is the distance from central band to nth dark band. Lambda, wavelength of light used. Capital D, distance between slit and screen. Small d, it is the distance between the two slits. Okay. Then next is for destructive interference. Let me write it over here. For destructive interference. For destructive interference. For destructive interference, path difference should be lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, etc. All multiple of lambda by 2. Then let me write what is the central band. Central band is bright band. Then there will be dark band. Therefore, I am writing for first dark band. It's for first dark band. For first dark band, the path difference should be lambda by 2. Let me write it over here. Path difference, it should be lambda by 2. And if I am formulating equation with the standard path difference expression, I will write xd by d is equal to lambda by 2. But x is a variable. We will have to give that x as x1 dash. Why I am giving it x1 dash is x1 is given for distance for the bright band. Therefore, x1 dash is the distance from central band to first dark band. Then what is x1 dash? x1 dash will be lambda capital D by 2d. x1 dash. This is the distance for first dark band. Likewise, let's find out the for second dark band. Second dark band. For second dark band, path difference should be 3 lambda by 2. Let me write it like this. Then it should be 3 lambda by 2 is equal to x. It's x1 dash over here. We have to write x2 dash d by d. Then x2 dash is equal to 3 lambda capital D divided by 2d. And this is our simplification for second dark band. Then let's generalize for nth dark band. For for nth dark band, x1 dash is lambda d by 2d, x2 dash is 3 lambda d by 2d, then x3 dash should be 5 lambda d by 2d. Likewise, xn dash, it should be, let me write it like this, 2n minus 1 lambda d by 2d. We have to check whether this equation is correct. How can we check whether this equation is correct? Substitute for n as 1, and if we are getting this equation, this is correct equation. Let's substitute. If n is 1 means 2 into 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1 lambda d by 2d. Therefore, this equation makes sense. Therefore, this is the equation for nth dark band, the distance from central band to nth dark band, xn dash. Then I'm not having that much space in this derivation. Let me summarize. That is, if I am taking xn minus 1, that will be giving us the distance between two consecutive bright band, and if I am substituting it over here, let me write it over here, xn is n lambda d by d minus xn minus 1 is n minus 1 lambda d by d, and the answer for this will be, lambda d by d, and this is the distance between consecutive bright band. It is called as fringe width. It's called as fringe width, and fringe width beta is equal to lambda capital D by small. This is our expression for fringe width. Okay.